Good morning. It is Friday. I'm Rabbi Boxman. It's wonderful to see you all this morning. I would like to share what is going on in our beautiful Temple Shalom One Family community this weekend. So take a look at my screen. Today, we will have our Erev Shabbat services on live stream and Facebook Live at 7:30 p.m. For live stream, again, that's through the Temple Shalom website, and we will be your clergy live from the sanctuary. Tomorrow, April 25th, we'll have our Shabbat services on live stream at 10 a.m. And prior to that, we'll actually have our Torah study, our weekly Torah study at 9 a.m. And that is via Zoom. Links are in your email. And then we'll have our Havdalah service via Facebook Live at 8 p.m. On Sunday, April 26th, we have, in honor of Israeli Independence Day, Israeli music concert with Cantor Azu at 4 p.m. I believe that's on Facebook Live, so tune in for that. On Monday, April 27th, we'll begin our morning with our coffee talk via Zoom at 10 a.m. And then we'll have our second session of the history of the Jewish people. That is also via Zoom at 12 p.m. If you missed session 1, it's no problem. Join us for session 2. All sessions are going to be posted on Facebook. The first session was posted this past week, so you can simply catch up before or even after the fact and join us for what has been a wonderful series so far and will continue to be. That is what we have going on this weekend. Please join us for part of it, for all of it. It's wonderful to stay connected in this way. So I wanted to share a little bit about the Torah portion, Tazria-Metzora. Tazria-Metzora is a difficult portion usually. It's all about skin diseases and mold and kind of disgusting things to talk about, and it talks about what it looks like and how to deal with it and how to treat it. But unfortunately, this time in this pandemic, it's really relatable because the best way, the way that we learn in the Torah to deal with this these skin problems and this mold and all that yucky stuff is through quarantine. So for example, somebody who has a skin lesion has to quarantine outside the camp until they're told by the priest that it's okay to come back in. Now, what's nice that we hear in the Torah, but we don't yet have for us in our own pandemic today, is a ritual for return. So when the priest has decided that the person is healed and not contagious anymore, they're able to return to the camp, and they go through a whole ritual. So they have to bring certain sacrifices and they have to do all these unusual things in order to transition back. Now, while we likely won't have any sort of sacrifice to make when we return to normal, there are going to be stages that we return. There's going to be things that don't ever return to normal. And so it made me think about some questions for us as some states now have started to lift restrictions, and we see our world now heading back to a place that we once knew. My questions are, how are we going to return to normal? What rituals might we do? I'm sure it won't be sacrifice, but what will we do to ritualize that return? Will we return in stages? Will we return all at once? And most importantly, when we look back at this time, how will we remember it? And what will we remember? Will we look back and see the positive? Will we look back and only see the negative? And thinking about this, I actually came across an anecdote that I want to share with you, and I'm going to bring it onto the screen for you to read along with me. It was a really good reminder that there's more than one way to look at this negative situation that we're in. So take a look at your screen. So this is an anecdote. It takes place 10 years from now in the year 2030, and it's a conversation between a college kid, presumably 18, an 18-year-old kid, and his parent. All right. In history class, the kid says, we learned that the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 was really bad. Mom, Dad, I don't know who he's talking to, what was it like? The parent responds, well, everything was shut down in an attempt to kill the virus, but not everyone followed the order to quarantine for 15 days, so it lasted longer than anyone expected. Many people died who shouldn't have. Grocery stores were out of everything because people were hoarding as much as they could. We were scared of economic failure of our country and for ourselves because we couldn't work. Don't you remember? You were 8. The college kid replies, all I remember was the school closing and being homeschooled. I remember doing scavenger hunts in our yard. I remember eating meals as a family for a change. I remember getting great sleep because I wasn't up late for homework or getting up early for school. I remember board games as a family. I remember watching our pastor, and in our case, our rabbi, on our laptop. Honestly, it was the happiest time of my childhood. Don't lose perspective. This anecdote really hit home. Having 2 young children at home, I started to think about this time from their perspective, and it gave me a positive insight that if you look hard enough, you always can find something good, even in a really negative situation. So I wish you this beauty of perspective. I hope in 10 years from now, we can look back and laugh at some parts of this and at least feel at ease that we did the best we could and came out better. I wish you a wonderful weekend, Shabbat Shalom, and I hope to see you this weekend.